The smoke-filled hangar at the airport was eerily silent, save for the heavy panting of the two fierce opponents who stood in the center of the room. Rexy, the female adult T-Rex from Jurassic World, stood tall and proud, her purple glowing eyes shining brightly in the dimly lit space. Across from her, SCP-682 loomed menacingly, its green glowing eyes locked onto Rexy with a look of unbridled rage. Rexy let out a low growl, her purple energy waves crackling around her as she prepared to face off against SCP-682. The massive reptilian creature snarled in response, its own green energy waves pulsing from its bladed tail swipes and razor-sharp teeth. The clash between the two titans was deafening, each strike sending shockwaves rippling through the hangar. Rexy's body was scratched, wounded, and gnashed by SCP-682's deadly attacks, but she refused to back down. With a fierce roar, she unleashed a barrage of purple energy waves from her tail swipes, each strike landing with deadly accuracy. As the battle raged on, Rexy felt a surge of power coursing through her veins. Her purple glowing eyes glowed even brighter, imbuing her with a newfound strength and agility. With a swift motion, she leapt into the air, her tail crackling with energy as she landed a devastating blow on SCP-682's side. The massive creature let out a deafening roar, its green energy waves intensifying in response. The two opponents continued to clash with each other, their movements a blur of speed and precision. Hours passed, but neither Rexy nor SCP-682 showed any signs of backing down. Finally, after what seemed like an eternity, Rexy delivered a final, decisive blow to SCP-682. The shockwave from the impact rippled through the hangar, causing the walls to quake and tremble. With a mighty crash, SCP-682 collapsed to the ground, defeated at last. Rexy stood victorious, her purple glowing eyes scanning the room for any sign of movement. When she was sure that the battle was truly over, she let out a triumphant roar, the sound echoing through the empty hangar. Exhausted from the fight, Rexy slowly made her way to the portal that had mysteriously appeared behind her. With a final glance back at SCP-682's fallen form, she entered the portal and disappeared from sight. As Rexy emerged on the other side, she found herself in a quiet, air-conditioned room. The adrenaline from the battle began to ebb away, leaving her feeling sore and bruised all over. With a tired yawn, she settled down on the cool floor, her eyes growing heavy with sleep. As she drifted off into a peaceful slumber, Rexy couldn't help but smile to herself. Despite the challenges she had faced, she had emerged victorious in the end. And as she finally succumbed to sleep, she whispered softly to herself, "Not even SCP-682 can defeat the power of my glowing purple eyes." Words. 490. In the dark, misty forest of Jurassic World, Rexy, the fierce female adult T-Rex with purple glowing eyes, was training tirelessly to hone her fighting skills. With each roar and tail swipe, she skillfully emitted purple energy waves, thanks to the power she acquired from her unique eyes. She was preparing herself for the ultimate battle against the infamous SCP-682, a creature known for its incredible regenerative abilities and deadly nature. As Rexy ventured deeper into the forest, she could sense the presence of SCP-682 looming nearby. The ground trembled beneath her massive feet as the green glowing eyes of SCP-682 finally appeared before her. The battle was about to begin. With lightning speed, SCP-682 lunged at Rexy, its sharp teeth and claws slicing through the air. Rexy fought back fiercely, her purple energy waves colliding with SCP-682's green energy waves in a spectacular display of power. The two titans clashed endlessly, each blow sending shockwaves across the battlefield. Despite being injured and exhausted, Rexy refused to back down. She channeled the full potential of her glowing eyes, regenerating her every damaged or lost body part with ease. The intensity of her purple energy waves increased, overwhelming SCP-682 at every turn. Hours passed, but the battle showed no signs of stopping. The forest echoed with the sounds of their fierce roars and the clash of their colossal bodies. Smoke filled the air as the two creatures fought on, locked in a battle of strength and will. Finally, after a final, devastating clash, SCP-682 collapsed on the ground, defeated by Rexy's relentless determination. With a triumphant roar, Rexy disappeared through a portal that had appeared behind her, leaving the battlefield behind. Emerging on the other side, Rexy found herself in an empty, air-conditioned hangar at the airport. Bruised and battered, she settled down on the floor, exhaustion weighing heavily on her massive frame. As she closed her eyes and drifted off to sleep, a small smirk played on her lips, a testament to her victory over SCP-682. In her sleeping state, Rexy whispered words of victory and pride, knowing that she had emerged victorious from the epic battle. The night passed peacefully, the sound of her heavy breathing filling the quiet hangar. And so, Rexy rested, her body and mind at ease after facing off against one of the most formidable opponents she had ever encountered. The tale of her battle with SCP-682 would be whispered among the creatures of Jurassic World for generations to come, a thrilling saga of power, perseverance, and triumph. Words. 432. Rexy, the female adult T-Rex from Jurassic World, stood tall and fierce, her purple glowing eyes shining brightly in the darkness. She had honed her fighting skills, mastering the art of emitting purple energy waves from her roar and tail swipes. With each movement, she exuded power and confidence, ready to face off against any opponent. Her latest challenge came in the form of SCP-682, a creature known for its resilience and ferocity. As the two titans clashed, Rexy found herself being pushed to her limits. The green glowing sharp teeth, claws, and bladed tail of SCP-682 inflicted numerous wounds upon her body, causing her to bleed and struggle. But Rexy was not one to back down easily. With a fierce determination, she tapped into the full potential of her glowing purple eyes, increasing the intensity and brightness to evolve her healing and regeneration abilities. With each strike from SCP-682, she began to regrow her damaged or lost body parts, her resilience seemingly endless. As the battle raged on, both creatures emitted shockwaves with every collision, the ground trembling beneath their feet. Hours passed, yet Rexy and SCP-682 continued to clash relentlessly, their powers colliding in a spectacular display of strength and willpower. Eventually, after a final clash that shook the very foundation of the battlefield, SCP-682 collapsed, exhausted from the intense fight. Rexy, too, was weary but triumphant. With a satisfied smirk, she disappeared through a portal, re-emerging in an empty hangar at a nearby airport. Bruised and battered, Rexy settled down on the floor, closing her eyes as she drifted off to sleep. In her dreams, she relived the adrenaline-pumping battle with SCP-682, her silent chuckles echoing in the quiet of the night. As the sun rose on a new day, Rexy awoke, feeling rejuvenated and ready for whatever challenges lay ahead. The memory of her epic showdown with SCP-682 fueled her spirit, reminding her of the unstoppable power that resided within her glowing purple eyes. And so, Rexy stood tall once more, a fierce and powerful force to be reckoned with, her purple eyes shining brightly with determination and strength. The battle may have been won, but the thrill of the fight would forever live on in her heart. Words. 379. As the sun began to set over the horizon, Rexy could feel the adrenaline still coursing through her veins from her intense battle with SCP-682. She slowly opened her purple glowing eyes, the aftermath of the fight still evident in the bruises and scratches covering her massive body. Wow, that was one heck of a battle, Rexy muttered to herself, her voice deep and rumbling. But I guess I showed that pesky SCP who's boss. Just then, a soft sob caught Rexy's attention. She turned her head to see Blue, the female adult velociraptor, standing nearby with tears streaming down her face. Rexy knew that Blue had a sensitive side, despite her tough exterior. Hey there, Blue. What's wrong? Rexy asked, tilting her head in concern. Blue sniffled and wiped her eyes, trying to compose herself. I'm just so scared, Rexy. That battle was so intense, and I was so worried about you. Rexy let out a deep, soothing rumble as she reached out with her tail to gently comfort Blue. Hey, it's okay. I'm fine now. We both made it through in one piece. Blue nodded, a small smile appearing on her face. I know. But I just can't help but worry about you, Rexy. You mean everything to me. Rexy's glowing purple eyes softened as she looked at Blue with affection. And you mean everything to me, Blue. We're a team, remember? We always have each other's backs. Blue nodded, feeling a sense of relief wash over her. Yeah, you're right. We make a pretty unstoppable team, don't we? Rexy chuckled softly. That's right, Blue. No one can mess with us. We've got each other's backs no matter what. As the night fell, Rexy and Blue settled down together in the empty airport hangar, the air filled with a peaceful silence. Rexy closed her eyes, ready to drift off to sleep, feeling safe and content with Blue by her side. And as they lay there, the bond between these two powerful creatures grew even stronger, solidifying their unbreakable friendship and unwavering loyalty to each other. They were a force to be reckoned with, a team like no other in the world. And so, as the night stretched on and the stars twinkled overhead, Rexy and Blue slept soundly, knowing that they were always there for each other, no matter what challenges or battles lay ahead. They were a true testament to the power of friendship, courage, and unity in the face of adversity. And nothing could ever come between them. Words. 426. As the sun began to set over the lush, green landscape of Jurassic World, Rexy, the imposing female T-Rex, let out a deafening roar that echoed through the trees. Her purple glowing eyes shimmered with intensity as she practiced her fighting techniques, using her newfound abilities to emit purple energy waves from her roar and tail swipes. Suddenly, a loud, guttural roar filled the air, causing Rexy to turn her head sharply towards the source of the noise. Emerging from the shadows was SCP-682, a formidable creature with green glowing eyes and razor-sharp teeth, claws, and a bladed tail. The two titans collided with a thunderous crash, causing shockwaves to ripple through the air. Rexy fought valiantly, using her glowing eyes to heal and regenerate her injuries as SCP-682 relentlessly attacked her, scratching, stabbing, and gnashing at her with its sharp claws and teeth. Despite the overwhelming odds, Rexy refused to back down. She pushed herself to her limits, increasing the intensity and brightness of her glowing purple eyes to emit powerful energy waves from her tail swipes and roars. Her agility, speed, and reflexes were further enhanced by her glowing eyes, allowing her to dodge and counter SCP-682's deadly attacks. Hours passed, and the battle between Rexy and SCP-682 showed no signs of slowing down. Both creatures were exhausted and battered, but they continued to clash ferociously. The ground shook with each impact, and the surrounding area was enveloped in a cloud of dust and smoke. Finally, after what seemed like an eternity, Rexy and SCP-682 delivered one final, devastating blow to each other. The shockwave from their collision swept across the battlefield, sending debris flying in all directions. As the dust settled, Rexy stood panting heavily, her purple eyes dimming with fatigue. SCP-682 lay motionless on the ground, defeated. With a satisfied nod, Rexy turned and disappeared through a portal behind her, re-emerging in an empty, smoke-filled hangar at the airport. Bruised and exhausted, Rexy settled down on the floor, closing her eyes as sleep overcame her. In her dreams, she murmured words of triumph and victory, a content smile playing on her lips. In the darkness of the night, Blue, the velociraptor, approached Rexy, tears streaming down her face. Rexy, sensing her distress, opened her sleepy eyes and sighed heavily, reaching out a comforting tail to the grieving dinosaur. Blue nestled against her, finding solace and comfort in Rexy's presence. And so, as the night deepened, Rexy and Blue found peace in each other's company, the gentle sounds of their breathing mingling with the whispers of the night. In the quiet stillness, a bond of friendship and trust was forged, transcending the chaos and violence of the day's battle. Words. 458. Rexy, the female adult T-Rex from Jurassic World, stood tall and proud, her purple glowing eyes shimmering with power as she prepared to face off against SCP-682. She had honed her fighting styles, skillfully emitting purple energy waves from her roar and tail swipes, thanks to the abilities granted by her unique eyes. As the two powerful creatures clashed, SCP-682's green glowing sharp teeth, claws, and bladed tail inflicted damage on Rexy, scratching, wounding, and biting her. But despite the injuries, Rexy did not falter. Her purple eyes glowed brighter as she tapped into their full potential, evolving her healing and regeneration abilities to regrow every damaged or lost body part endlessly. With each collision, shockwaves reverberated across the battlefield as Rexy and SCP-682 battled endlessly, their powers clashing in a cataclysmic display of strength. Hours passed, and both creatures grew tired and exhausted, panting heavily in the smoke-filled arena. Finally, in a final clash that shook the very ground beneath them, SCP-682 collapsed, defeated. Rexy, feeling the toll of the battle, disappeared through a portal behind her, re-emerging in an empty, air-conditioned hangar at the airport. Covered in bruises, Rexy settled down on the floor, closing her eyes and drifting off to sleep. In her exhaustion, she murmured to herself, reflecting on the intense battle she had just faced. As Rexy slept, Blue, the female adult velociraptor, approached her, tears streaming down her face. Rexy, sensing Blue's distress, gently laid her tail on the smaller dinosaur, offering comfort and solace. Blue, comforted by Rexy's presence, began to relax, a small smile forming on her face as she drifted off to sleep. In the quiet of the night, Rexy and Blue found peace in each other's company, the bond between them growing stronger with each passing moment. As dawn approached, the two creatures slept soundly, the echoes of their battle fading into the background as they found solace in each other's presence. Though the world may be filled with chaos and danger, in that moment, Rexy and Blue knew that they were stronger together. And as the sun rose on a new day, they faced the future with renewed strength and determination, ready to face whatever challenges came their way, united in their bond of friendship and mutual respect. Words. 383. Once upon a time in a world where dinosaurs and mythical creatures roamed freely, the mighty T-Rex known as Rexy ruled the